right. This is 2022 immersive FPS gameplay.
Okay, we're gonna go on with Turbo Sniper.
All right. As you can see, Turbo Sniper takes a quick look at those rockets, see if anybody's pushing bottom mid. He's gonna push straight over here by these bottom B stairs, and he's gonna get dropped by Squirrel Spice. Fearless, I'm gonna ask you to take over for a second while I swap over to my game view because I am indeed getting some lag here.
So we're gonna go with Gruesome. Gruesome's heading to PD. He's trying to look at A and trying to put shots on people, while his teammates are moving up, as he's taken down by Turtle. As you can see here, they're trying to take control and hold control of A while moving towards B.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. We got gameplay going on here. All right, Turtle's staying alive over here in PD. See, his team's got control of A. He and his squad are going to be trying to marshal themselves to get control of the map here again. And you see his teammates are already split spawning over in C. We're gonna have a little bit of fight for the B strongholds here. Are we on board with right now? I knew this was gonna happen to me. All right, on board with Gruesome right now. He's staying alive over here on top B and trying to defend A stronghold.
Yeah. As he takes down the guy in the back of A. As he's gonna make a play to middle. He takes Squirrel down. As they're down 2 dead, 3 dead. Oh, he almost got him there. Damn.
Alright, we're seeing headshots come up with a nice strong start in this game.
And now we're on to Halo
point lead here.
As he gets taken down. It looks like they're taking control of A, and now Headshots is taking control of C. Let's see how they try to make this work out to get back their strongholds that they just had. Let's go on to Ethereal Sword, as he just takes down Jedi Master Saint and is capturing B.
And good plays by Ethereal here. Secure B for his team. They're going to be looking for these spawners to come up over at Cafe. And, oh my goodness, sorry, I've got notifications popping up all over the place. You see all of GGez spawning up over by Cafe. They're going to try to push out from A here. What is going on right now? Sorry, folks, give me 1 second. I've got some technical difficulties on my end.
Okay, I'm going to go on board with Gruesome. As Gruesome's going up B stairs, he's looking towards the guy in B, and he sees that it's the guy at tires, and he gets taken down by Squirrel. As GGez is trying to take care of B, as they do. We're gonna hop on board with Squirrel, who gets taken down by Turbo. And Turbo is standing alone in B, and then he gets taken down. So now we're going to switch it over to Sword, who's currently at B platform. As they're trying to maintain control of C and B currently, and try to make the other team spawn towards A and keep them over there. As they just take down 2 of them, and now they're making a push to A so that the enemy spawns at C. Ooh, what a nice trade at B. Let's see, GGez is now 2 in B, and they're capturing B as we speak. And we're on with Squirrel, who is at B platform right now. He's looking to keep control of B, and as he sees that the enemy team has rockets, he's backing off and waiting for his teammates in order to push back up.
Like seeing Squirrel going for this thruster pack here. Feel like a lot of teams in the lower divisions kind of forget about that equipment, forget to put it to use and control it, but it can give you the edge in almost every engagement you get into on the map. Same really with all the weapons around the map. Really every weapon, every piece of equipment has its place and has its use, and the top players understand that, take advantage of it.
Because when it comes to competitive play, you always need to grab every little thing that you think can make a difference or a maker in each game. As you can see right now, that the person that's standing out most on GGez is Halo Jumpa, who already has 12 kills. Hopefully the rest of his teammates can do a little better on the slaying side, because the slaying is what is causing brain fart again. Which is causing such the gap in the score right now. We need to win our fights. We need to work together to take a stronghold point, and if needed to go across the map, do so in Paris at least.
We're gonna see GGez making a push here on the Pink Street to try to flip the map and get control of A. I like this play. They're having trouble kind of getting out of the C stronghold for all the reasons you're talking about, Fearless. Headshots is just getting those slays in, make it really difficult for them to find presence on the map and convert that into points. So now we're gonna see...
up a double kill.
Oh, Squirrel can't quite cap A. He's gonna get railed by Turbo Sniper. Is gonna take his face, defend that stronghold, and keep his team on the scoreboard. But as we say that, Squirrel's teammates get in behind them into B, and we now have a score flip again. And GGez is going to be racking up some time. Let's see how they hold this 2-cap. See whether or not they're going to put pressure on A. Looks like for now they're going to play it fairly passively. We got 2 members of GGez going down. They need to stay alive here and get their kills.
The gap should be.
Squirrel stay alive there.
Like I was saying before, you can have be it both ways, in terms of slaying B the #1 priority when it comes to strongholds, but then at the same time it's also about just rotating in general and being able to get to those strongholds before the enemy team can stop you. The difference between Halo Infinite and those of you that have played Halo 5. On Halo Infinite, as soon as you get into your enemy's stronghold point, their points stop. And that's when it's, each team has one stronghold point, and the third point is being taken by one or the other team. Back in Halo 5, that wasn't a thing. And it's great to see that in Halo Infinite, because it really makes people have to really work and really have to push, because every little second matters.
Yeah, that's a great point, Fearless. It also gives the defenders of the stronghold kind of one extra little edge and one extra mechanic that they can use to keep themselves in the game and keep that lead from getting out of control. And we need to see we need to see GGez taking advantage of all those things right now, because this lead is getting out of control for them. We've got almost a 2-minute lead on the side of Headshots here in this first map, game 1, as we see 2 members go down again for GGez.
Nice double kill with 1 rocket shot by Jedi over there. Let's hop on board with him as he's capturing Stronghold B. He sees that he's an enemy player at PD, and he's going to work with his teammate to try to take them out. I don't think he sees him. He's trying to put away now. Let's see if he gets away, and he gets away. Now, as we're getting into the last little bit of the game, GGez really needs to step up their game here. As you can see, that Jedi Master Saint is struggling a little bit, but it looks like it might be over right
stay
here.
Alive right there, but looks like he's having a harder time with that in the whole series. And there we go. Headshots is going to close out game 1, 250-84 on Stronghold Streets. They're going to go up 1-0 in this series. Just a reminder for everybody, we're going to be watching all 5 of the games today. We're not playing a best of 5, so coming right up, we're going to have Slayer Recharge to see these teams go at it once again. So Fearless, you called out in the middle of that game that we had kind of lopsided slays in the favor of Headshots. Obviously, you would think that the team that's able to slay out a little bit better is going to have the edge in a team Slayer game, where slaying is the name of the game. Anything else you saw from the gameplay in that first game that you think will give one of these teams or the other an edge in Slayer Recharge?
Well, in terms of objective time, both teams are pretty much even if you look at the scoreboard. But you will see that someone like Gruesome had 9 stronghold caps. That comes in handy a lot. There's been for me alone, there's been so many times where I will have to cap so many times just to try to win, because although slaying is the number one priority in any mode that you play, you have to you need to work as a team in the objective side too. Because if you just let one person or two people do the majority, like you see on the other team, where Turtle and Jedi both had 6, but you see that Jedi kind of struggled on the slaying side, but he had some good timing on the stronghold itself. So you need to work in pairs, like in this case, I would say Turtle and Squirrel and Jedi and Halo, because Squirrel and Halo both had 3 captures, while Turtle and Jedi both had 6. So if you can work on your weaknesses there, you can probably make a better push at another stronghold when you play strongholds again against the same team or with another team. But on the other side, it's everyone did pretty much what they needed to do in order to maintain those points. Gruesome with the capturing, and overall they just held control. We need what GGez needs to do is have control over a certain part of the map more often, and that goes back to positioning and also objectiveness, because you're going to have good objective side if you have good positioning.
I think that's a great point, Fearless. And this game, Halo 5 was like this too, but Halo Infinite is such a rotation heavy game at higher levels. If you get a team that's aggressive and knows when to push the advantages when they have them, whether that advantage is numbers or weapons or positioning on the map, it can be really difficult for the team that's on the receiving end of that to get off their spawn cycle, get a foothold back in the map again and expand out from there. And a lot of times you'll see teams kind of crumble and crack under that pressure and have a hard time, digging themselves out of that hole. So I think as we move into this next game, GGez just needs to be patient. They need to, as you said, get good positions on the map, wait for their teammates to come up, spawn together, and try to make something happen all together. I mean, we saw some good individual performances in that last series, but really Infinite's a team game, and we need to see all these guys step up together if they want to get the win.
And that's why I like about this season, about playing all 5 games instead of best out of 5. Because, you could have one bad game and you just rub it off and say, you know what? They can have those 2 points. We're going to take the next 8. It makes it so much more fun, and you're able to not get discouraged by, having a bad game. Because you can always do better the next one. That's what I always do. You lose the first one, brush it off, put it aside, move on to the next game. And hopefully that's what we do here, as we're going to get started here in just a second. Anything else you'd like to add before we load in?
No, I think that point's a good one. I mean, one of the things that's going to separate top teams from people who just enjoy playing is that sort of resilience that you're talking about. I mean, no one wants to go down 1-0 in a series, but it's a lot better than going down 4-0 in a series. They've got a lot of Halo left to play tonight. I don't know how often these two teams have played each other either, but you always learn something about the team that you're playing, and we wish we could kind of hear what's going on behind the scenes as these teams talk about how they want to approach this next map. But we are, as we speak, loading into Slayer Recharge Game 2. I would love to start out with Jedi Master Saint on the beginning of Game 2 here, Frozen, and just see how he kind of pulls back from the end of Game 1 there. We saw him make some good plays over on the B Stronghold. Be curious to see how his team is going to start off this Slayer match. Frozen, anything jump, or sorry, not Frozen, although Frozen 2, I suppose, but Fearless, do you have any big things that stick out to you about Recharge or Slayer? I mean, obviously there's the shock rifle on this map.
Yeah.
It's a clue-worthy weapon.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is that, it's controlling sword. and the power up. You know, you can go the whole game without getting the shock rifle and the sword, but you need to manage to get that power up in this case, which will be camo, and you want there to be control over it, because the person on the other team can just sneak around and, you know, get every position on you that you're not going to be able to get back.
That's right, and Jedi Master is going to start out looking for that camo. He gets taken out there at the start. We're going to stay on board with him through the respawn and see where he goes. 1 second, or excuse me, we're on board with Halo Jumpa. My bad. He's going to... Oop. Okay, we're back. Jedi spawns bottom elevator here. He sees his team over on glass. He's going to come up here top A, try to get some angles on them. Thinks he might hear a guy low turbine. Does indeed find a guy behind him. He takes out the sword player, ethereal sword, with the sword repulsor, getting dropped in top elevator, and Jedi Master is going to get his hands on this weapon. Sword is just a dangerous weapon to have on this part of the map. A lot of tight corners up here, and hopefully we'll see him put it into good effect. Just looking for these long haul spawns. Oh my. Sees two guys over there at long and glass. Fearless glass, it seems, is one of those power positions on that map as well. I mean, it kind of the second of the two towers on this map, gives you a few points into bottom mid where the camo spawns, a lot of the high traffic areas on the map. Looks like we're seeing these teams kind of control opposite sides right now. One's controlling the elevator side, others controlling glass side. Looking for one of these teams to kind of get a pick and give themselves a chance to expand out, get some more space on this map.
Yeah, you know, my playstyle, you know, I like to hold glass more than I do top A, just simply because you can see much more of the map from glass side than you can of A, because there's so many walls over by top A that you can't really see what's really going on. Whereas glass, you can hide behind something where the enemy can't shoot you from, and then at the same time,
Master going in. He's
everything.
getting. Sorry to cut you off there, Fearless. He gets a good push there into the below pipes. You see immediately his team pushing up behind him. Let's see if they can pick up these 2 kills on the stairs. One goes down, second one goes down. He's looking for this last cleanup. Gonna take out the shock rifle player right there. Big plays from Jedi to open up this map for his team. Frozen in the back, calling out the Jedi skills from Jedi Master, swinging that lightsaber. Fortunately, he's gonna fall there. Let's go ahead and jump on with this ethereal sword and see what he can do with those weapons that he picked up. Looks like he's gonna push immediately out into elevator. Gonna drop. Let's stick on with him through the respawn since we just got to his point of view, and give him a chance to show us what he can do off spawn here. Immediately sees his teammate Venus drop over on the pipe side of the map. He sees his team's down 3-2. He needs to not get headshotted in the face by that shock rifle, which he succeeds in. Let's see how he's going to get his push together on this side of the map. Got a teammate with him. Turbo Sniper and Ethereal looking to see if they can get a pick on this sneaky little squirrel player who's sitting right here on top batteries. Get some good shots in, not able to finish the kill though. But that's why you have teammates. Venus gets that cleanup, and we are going to see GGez go 3 down. That should give Headshots a good opportunity to get control of this map. And they do. They got presence in control. They got presence in top elevator. I see a Mangler up. Is he going to get it? Okay. Ethereal Sword now has the God Gun. Those of you who are not familiar, which if you play this game, is nobody. Mangler is a 1-shot beatdown, 2-shot shield cracking weapon. See its damage right there. Oh, nice double kill coming in from Ethereal. Even gets the hold this medal for throwing the Mangler at his opponent and shooting him in the face. 3 kills again, going in favor of Headshots.
Like I was saying at the end of the last game, you know, Jedi had a little bit of a struggle on the slaying side, and now that they're playing Slayer, he's doing a lot better than he did in that last game, and that's what I was talking about. You know, kind of brushing it off with how the last game went and moving on to the next game.
Yeah, perfect shots from Ethereal right there. Looking to clean up a second kill. See if he can chase Squirrel down to blue box, and he's now out of the sword ammo. And he's got the grapple as well, but he's going to get taken out trying to lift back into pipes.
Let's hop on board with Gruesome and see what he can do.
I like that call. We're right into the action with the Gruesome. Bottom elevator. He's trying to stay alive. He's got another teammate with him, but they're getting pushed from the turbine area. Turbo Sniper is going to pick up those kills, keep both him and his teammate alive. And together they're going to be able to get some shots on Halo Jumper and these two teams in top glass. Headshots out to a nice lead now. They got a 5-kill lead. And it's nice to see this map being a little bit closer than map 1. Fearless, I think you're right. I mean, sometimes you take that extra objective out of the question, and players can just focus on getting in their kills. Hopefully, this is what Headshots needs, or what GGez needs, excuse me, to get some confidence back and get some momentum in this series.
That's the main thing with people. You know, you need to just not give up. You need to learn from whatever mistake you made in the previous game and learn from it and do better the next time. Everybody starts from a starting point and gets better over time, no matter what your skill level is.
Gruesom's doing a great job of locking down this turbine area. He seems staying alive down here in low pipes and just constantly keeping damage on those top glass players, keeping them backed up and trying to reduce their effectiveness and taking out the rest of his team. I want to see him pull back here, stay with his team as he loses Ethereal Sword. This looks like his team knows that all 4 of GGez are on this long haul side of the map. Unfortunately, Gruesome can't stay alive there. Squirrel's able to take him out and stop that push from turning into something much worse for his team. Good plays from Squirrel.
Alright, let's hop on board with Jedi Master Saint again. And see what he does now that he's all alone at the moment.
We had 3 dead there for a second for GGez. Let's see. We've got a commando right here in the hands of Jedi Master Saint, and he's getting pushed by 2 members of Headshots. Let's see.
And one has camoed.
Trying to strong side his way around that corner into control. Cannot quite get there. Let's see if Squirrel and Halo Jumper can fight off that push. See Halo Jumper coming in with the pings. Is he able to win this fight on the Mangler? He is not. Ethereal Sword with the great shots to take out Halo Jumper.
As it leads now up to 10.
Yeah, so we're, you know, back in the old days of Halo 3, those of you who have been around for a while will remember Sundance saying that the game starts at the 30 kill mark. And that is certainly true in Slayer. It sometimes takes around that long for one team to really get in a rhythm and control the map. And just like we were saying at the end of map 1, when one team gets control, it can be difficult for the other to pull back.
I've had incidents where I'm in this case scenario where I have 32 kills and the enemy has 41. We've come back and won by 4 or 5. It's all about that positioning and about that control. Knowing where your teammates are at all times, being in pairs, and knowing where the enemy is and will most likely spawn.
Yeah, that's a great point, Fearless. I mean, and this Halo Infinite, more than any other Halo we've had before, I think no lead is safe. You know, there's just always an opportunity with the sandbox in this game to get an edge that you need and close that lead. You know, sometimes I think about score differences in terms of, like, how many team wipes do you need to get back in the game, right? You're down 8 kills, you need to kill the other team twice, that's all. And then you're back into it. If you play your advantages right, that's not too difficult. Well, I shouldn't say it's not too difficult, but it's certainly doable. Halo Jumper trying to get the sword, it looks like, to get his team back into this. We've already seen some good sword plays this map. Let's go. Oh, gets repulsed back into blue pipes.
And he gets to go. What a play.
Ethereal Sword staying on the map, getting that, securing that sword for his team. I want to see how he plays this. Again, sword is usually the more dangerous in these kind of tight areas. Hopefully he's going to kind of play it easy over here, and we do indeed see him baiting this C-plat corner. I don't know if anyone knows he's here.
I
would love to see one of his teammates try to get some shots. Yeah, exactly. Just bait this guy in to give Ethereal the chance to use this sword. He is going to pick up the kill. Can he stay alive? He does. He gets the 48th kill for his team. Turbo Sniper picks up the last kill. And we are going to see Headshots winning game 2, 50-36.
And take a 2-0
Headshots.
Yeah, that at the very start, it was so, going both ways. And, Jedi was having a great start. But it just seems that Headshots just came up on top and had the better positioning and rotation. They were always rotating the map, once in a while, you would have someone on headshots be alone, but the other three are...
Which is go straight to the top of rockets and get those under control for his team. I mean,
at least this time I'm able to see it.
There's also manglers on both sides. Previously mentioned the sleeper god weapon in Halo Infinite. Looks like we do have all 8 players in the lobby. Venus is going to go for that mangler right off the start. Look to get control of these rockets. Let's see if he can sniff out a player up here. He does very quickly get around the corner. He's running the new T2 combo, mangler and rockets. Gonna hide in this vent for just a minute. See if he can maybe get a sneaky pick over here on the alley side. Sees a Halo jumper below him. He's gonna get around this corner. He tanks the grenade, doesn't die. Good plays by Venus to stay alive, keep control of these rockets, get his shields back. Meanwhile, 2 members of his team pick up 2 kills. He's gonna fire a cross-map rocket that won't connect. He's pushing in alley here as his team's looking to maybe get the first flag of the game running. This is kind of an interesting play by Venus. He's not really doing much in the alley right now other than blocking these spawns, which is causing those players to spawn up in
Wow,
flag.
what a double kill.
He makes me eat my words harder than those 2 members eat that rocket. That is 3 dead for GGez, and Headshots is bringing this first flag across the map. I think this is going to go in, short of a miracle here. Somebody does overextend. Jedi Master Saint coming in with a clutch flag stop. Squirrel Spice and Halo Jumper closing in on this map here. They're looking to get a counter pull of their own. Let's see if they can get this return and get this flag out. Big plays right there by GGez to not let that flag go in. Now they just need to be patient, get some slays, and try to see if they can get this flag moving back across the map. Fearless, how do you think about trying to move this flag once you get it pulled, which is only half the battle in Bazaar?
For me, it's more or less where is your teammates at? Where do you feel like they're going to spawn? And that will guide you to where you should pull the flag. In this case, we have Turbo Sniper running it towards the OS side, which is where I usually prefer to run it, simply because when it comes to going through those double doors, you never know what's going to happen or who's on that other side of that door. Because a lot of the times you'll have people hiding behind that door waiting for you to come by.
That's a great point.
And then just take you out.
That is a great point, and here we see just that happen. There are 3 members of Headshots getting the return, trying to secure this run for their team, looking for those spawners to be pushing out and taking mid-map control. Easy shots in the back with the AR, Ethereal Sword, delivering the sauce to the Jedi Master. Gets control of the dinos. He is going to get taken out, bottom market, but not before Headshots puts in the first flag of this Bazaar CTF. See, maybe we can hop on board with Squirrel Spice as he's coming out of the respawn here and see if he can get his team back in control here and set up a flag cap for GGez. Comes off spawn, he's going to get control of this thrust. Immediately running into Gruesome down low below his flag. And he is going to get taken out. Some good shots from Gruesome. We now see Headshots moving a second flag right out the front door.
Ooh.
Turbo Sniper picks up a kill with the rockets. Ethereal picks up a kill with the nail gun. Mangler. And Gruesome picks up Halo Jumper. 3 dead for GGez.
As Phoenix is running it in.
Like they are gonna put another flag on the board. And
You said that last time, and yet again, you ate your own words again.
Squirrel Spice is there, but is it gonna be enough?
Nope,
It is not.
enough. So we're gonna hop on board with Turbo Sniper as he's having a great game right now, and he's really shutting down the enemy team and helping putting shots on for all his teammates to either pick up the kill or help him kill them. In terms of positioning here, they're taking control of market, and now Turbo Sniper is moving into their BR in order to set up for another pull, and he's just sneaking his way in there.
I want to see Turbo Sniper slow down a little here and get a kill or 2 before he pulls this flag. He's going to be really lucky if he gets us through BR, and he does.
And he was able to do that thanks to his teammate, because his teammate went over towards where the enemy teams were and was able to sacrifice his own life to make that push happen.
He does an ethereal sword bailing him out right there. He gets 1 kill on Halo Jump, but can he pick up that second kill down there at the Bulldog spawn to keep this flag alive? He does, and Gruesome is looking to put in the 3rd flag for headshots. Good plays by our Cobra team here. Put themselves up 3-0. That is a comfortable lead on Bazaar. Fearless, any big picture kind of team coordination things that you're seeing Headshots do that's gifted them this lead here?
It's
other than Turbo Sniper being a monster.
You know, for me, you know, there's also Sword who's going off. He's 13 and
12
2.
and yeah, 13 and 2. I can't even say the numbers fast enough. He's getting them too fast.
You know, in this case scenario, it's just the positioning that they have. You know, they have someone over on their side somewhere, whether it's on the BR side or whether it's lockers, and they always have somebody running towards their base at all times, which is keeping that pressure going. And that's one thing that we're seeing here that GGez is kind of struggling with. You know, the game is not over yet. There's still 6 minutes on the clock. Maybe GGez can pull something out and start moving that flag. Because at this point, you know, Headshots is going to take control of the map again and throw in their 4th flag.
And this is not good news for GGez because Turbo Sniper has just picked up another set of rockets, and let's see where he can take this. He's going to go into his opponent's BR, pick up a couple of kills. These are big kills. Ethereal Sword is going to stop that player in his tracks, try to stay alive in this BR, and just make it as difficult as possible for the other team to push out and get shots on this flag. Hopping on board with Jedi now, as they've been able to get. Oh, he goes for the ninja. He cannot quite make it. No risk it, no biscuit. He tries for the highlight and does not get it, but GGez is able to go off the back of that and return the flag back to base. They're going to keep themselves at a 3 flag deficit. It's much better than a 4 flag deficit. Let's see if they can get some of that locker and BR control that you were talking about, Fearless, and maybe give themselves a chance to pull a flag here. I really just want to see this team kind of calm down a little bit, try to shake off whatever tilt they're feeling, and really just focus on getting themselves some slays. Sometimes you need to just acknowledge the map isn't going your way, and rather than trying to, you know, make everything happen all at once, you just need to relax, get some kills, and kind of establish yourself on the map, and then coordinate from there.
Correct. And it's like, you know, when it comes to matchups like this, you know, not every matchup is going to be what some people say fair or truly even matchup. You know, this is where you just go back in as a team, watch the VODs, and what I do is I watch the enemy team and see how they play compared to how I do, and learn from those mistakes and kind of learn how the other player plays. Because when you play in a league like this where you're going to play the same people maybe one more time in playoffs, you want to know what they're going to do before they start doing it, and that's how you're going to take over a team that is a lot better than you. You know, that's how I've gotten better over the years in terms of Halo, in terms of any other game I pick up, is learning from the other people.
Sorry to cut you off, Fearless, but 4 dead for Headshots right there. GGez getting a clean team wipe. You see all of GGez has spawned down in the Bulldog. Let us see if Headshots, or excuse me, all of Headshots down in the Bulldog. Let's see if GGez can get these kills while they have the team contained. They do. Squirrel Spice picks up the first one on Gruesome. His other 3 team members trying to get the flag out of the base. It looks like good plays by Headshots to get out of that bottom mid spawn without dropping more than that 1 life. And they immediately swarm back in on this treehouse, get control of it. Good attempt by Jedi Master Saint there to keep that contained. Picks up 1 kill, but it's not quite enough for them to turn that into another flag opportunity. Let's hop on board with Tortle now, as he has picked up the latest set of rockets. He's got 1 left to play with, but he's going to miss Ethereal Sword, who's coming at him with the Mangler. He just cannot get away from that nail gun. Thankfully, Jedi Master Saint there with the Commando to pick up the kill and trade it out.
As we're rounding down here to the final 2 minutes of this game, what do you feel like they can do, if anything, do in this case scenario to try to fix everything rather quickly?
You know, this game is probably not winnable at this point, just to be completely and totally honest, for GGez, but that doesn't mean that they should stop, trying to end on a good note. I would love to see them get a flag on the board here, give themselves a little bit of momentum and something to build off onto going into the next game of this series. They've still got 2 more games left to play after this. They can make this game respectable, and they certainly will have opportunities to, take the next 2 maps. So really want to see them keep their cool, get their slays, maybe just focus on getting those kills and getting a little bit of confidence before they move into map 4.
That confidence is key. So many people lose that little confidence that they have, and they just shut down. That's why I say, you never give up. Learn from your mistakes. See what you can do better.
Ethereal Sword is going to put in a 4th flag here. 4 headshots. They're going to go up 4-0 in the closing minutes of this game. GGez is still just struggling to get on this map. Or to get on this scoreboard, excuse me.
Correct. And another point that was just given out is just, they're so far spread out from each other that they can't really do the team shots and positioning. So, hopefully when they review the film and whatnot, that they realize that, and then they try to fix that for their next week's matchup, whoever it is that they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways that you can see that, right, is, even a few moments ago we saw GGez get headshots 4 down. They got a clean wipe of the team, but they weren't far enough up on the map or in aggressive enough positions to be able to turn that into a flag pull and good control of the other opponent's base. Like when they have those opportunities to control spawns, I need to see this team doing it more deliberately and trying to contain and get the kills as the other team spawns up in a predictable location. You want to make the other team be predictable, and then you want to, as you were saying earlier, Fearless, pull the flag towards your teammates and play around that predictability. But there's just a lot of chaos on the map right now for GGez, and Headshots is able to turn that to their advantage to take map number 3. They go 3-0 in the series, moving into Oddball Streets, which will be our game 4.
Now with Oddball Streets, positioning comes into play again. Where you need to figure out where your team wants to hold, because you don't know where they're really going to spawn, and there are so many open areas, especially with rockets. Luckily, there's no camo or OS, but you still need to make sure that you're staying on a certain side of the map where your teammates can have positioning on both sides of B Street and P Street. And, this way that whenever the enemy team tries to come at you, your teammates can hopefully shut them down.
Yeah, I'm taking a look over the scoreboard right now. A couple of things standing out. Frozen in the back, calling out the 26 and 7 from Ethereal Sword. What sticks out to me even more is the almost 8k damage by his teammate Gruesome is really putting the shots down there, setting up Ethereal to come through and get those kills. But overall, just a lot of slays. You saw this in the earlier maps, but the slaying is just going really heavy in the favor of Headshots. That is just too much for GGez to overcome. And there's a lot of good signs from Headshots here. Sometimes a match like this can start to look kind of lopsided. A team can maybe slack a little bit, or things can look better than they are. But for Headshots, not only are they outslaying, but they're turning those slays into objective points. A lot of times if you see a team that has that slaying power but is missing the kind of coordination that we've been talking about, you'll see a lot of slays go on the board, but not necessarily a lot of flag caps. And so again, that's I know these guys on Headshots are going to be feeling really confident going into map 4. Hopefully they're feeling good about their season so far. But you can tell they've been putting the work in. They're playing together, and they know what they're doing. It's good to see.
And you can see from if you view their assist, on the side of Headshots, you have Gruesome with 12, Venus with 8, Sword with 9, Turbo with 11. That's a lot of assists. Maybe they could have more, but compared to the team with 3 people with 5 and 1 person with 2, you can see that that Headshots is working more as a team than GGez. And that's what really helps you when moving the flag, and also in terms of positioning. You'll hear me say positioning a lot because that is really the key point into any game you play. Is always having the better advantage to the game mode than your opponents do. And if you don't have good positioning, you're gonna have a little bit of a struggle there. But you live and learn.
My furry creature's tail is making its appearance on screen. I've just acquired a cat. Interesting. Well, yeah, and Fearless, like, just to kind of build off what you were saying, I mean, there's some stuff that happens kind of before positioning too, right? Because like in order to have free range and free to be able to roam the map freely and get to those good positions, your team needs to be picking up kills. You know, like you need to be opening up the map for your team to fill in. It's like there are both parts. You got to get the kills, and you got to capitalize on those kills to improve your team's positioning. And then if you're playing an objective game, to put yourself in position to get those objective points. And one of the other things that can happen if your team's not getting assists, a lot of the times if you're against one of these heavier slaying squads, like I said earlier, you get put on a spawn cycle where there aren't very many opportunities where all 4 of your team are up at the same time. It's very difficult to coordinate your shots and coordinate your positioning if 2 of you are always dead and 4 of the other team are always alive. So like that's another thing that you start to see really separate teams as you get to higher levels of play, is the teams will, very deliberately put the other team on an awkward spawn cycle and not just control where on the map that team is going to spawn, but control how many of them are going to spawn there. You watch a team like Cloud9, for example, in the HCS play a Strongholds map, and they will split spawn their opposing teams so that 2 members are always spawning in isolation while 4 members of Cloud9 are alive. And if you're fighting a 4v2, I don't care how good you are with your individual skill, you are going to lose 9 times out of 10. And it's just like tying together everything we've been saying. Like you want to put your team in the best possible position to win the fights and win the game. And the teams that can do that consistently are going to win the most consistently. So Headshot's doing maybe not quite playing up to Cloud9's level tonight, but they're working on it.
We're gonna start off with Turtle and see how they start off while being down 3-0.
That's a good call. I'd love to see Turtle just totally go off this map. And once again, we got the Rockets bottom mid. Got that Bulldog over on the side. Let's see which team can keep control of those power weapons. Hopefully turn into advantage here. Strongholds. Turtle's going immediately to the A tower, looking bottom mid and sees the entirety of Headshots pushing out front C. I'm amazed he doesn't die. Not only that, he takes out Turbo Sniper, and I believe his team has gotten away with the rocket launcher.
We have a problem here.
Okay, we have 5v4 because the lobby was not put on private and somebody joined and somebody else lagged out. All right, we're going to see a reset on this oddball game. And let's see what's going on here. It's just another adventure. All right, we're going to be coming back to the infamous lobby scene as we're sitting here retrieving match data. The match data that I have is that the lobby is messed up.
Yeah, I just had to back out of that.
Yeah, Venus, I think your lobby has indeed been killed by the Guardians. So we're going to see what we can do to put everything back together here. Well, I guess this is a good time to once again shout out 3 of our sponsors for this season. As my cat is digging his claws into my leg, Tonzi probably has employed my cat to remind me to shout out sponsors. That's for those of you who weren't with us at the beginning of the stream. That is Amp Comics. Thank you so much for supporting PHCL through season 3. We're in week 6 right now. We have our Premier League sponsors or Premier Division sponsors, TMG Red, sponsoring the top division in our league. And we have MG Eclipse also sponsoring PHCL season 3 and also fielding a team in this season. So we'll hopefully see both TMG Red and MG Eclipse on broadcast later in the season. All right, and with that, Frozen is about to run a little commercial that we have, a little ad spot for TMG while we're waiting for this lobby to come together. Take it away, Frozen.
Now, yeah, now that we're back here, we're getting the lobby formed quickly as possible for everybody. Because of our little hiccup, we had an issue with the dedicated server, so we decided to put ourselves into a whole brand new lobby to try to avert any other problems from happening. To go into oddball on streets, what would you say is your recommendation on positioning? Where would you choose to hold ball? And why?
Yeah, I mean, in this game, more than any other Halo, it's situational. Like, I mean, some people love it and some people hate oddball in this game. I personally really like it. You know, coming from Halo 3, where really there's one oddball setup that, you know, everyone was sort of playing for, and you either have that setup or you don't. And maybe you see like a few other janky things come in once in a while. Infinite is a lot more about being active with the ball and not necessarily playing for one setup, but being able to rotate that ball with your team's spawns and sort of set up dynamically around where your team is spawning and where the enemy is. So like you will see top teams get time out of the oddball in all kinds of locations on this map. There's just enough kind of complexity in the map that you can kind of build a setup anywhere. That said, the most common places you're going to see the ball player are in the either back C, back sub kind of stronghold, which is one of the structures that the team spawns in, either over by the commando or over sort of back sub behind the spikes in C. Or on the opposite side of the map, you'll see the oddball set up in the A tower or inside PD where they got a lot of cover. The main thing I like to think about on this map, again, at a higher level, you don't want your oddball player to literally just be a useless person on the map acquiring oddball time. I want to see that oddball player taking active angles on the map, you know, as they're racking up objectives time, still trying to put shots down, drop the objective, put shots down, watch angles, watch lanes for their team, and help kind of quarterback and coordinate from their setup. And that's just really hard to do if you're in a box where you can't see the rest of the map. So, long answer to an easy question, Fearless, but what about yourself? How do you like to play this map?
For me, I like to hold PD. Just, you know, as much as you could say that it's a cluster, of a spot on the map, you know, it's also, for me anyways, it seems better when I'm either me holding the ball or having a teammate hold the ball inside of PD. It makes it a little bit easier to bounce nades off the sides, to try to back off the enemy, and it makes it to where the enemy team, if they want to get to the ball quickly enough, they would have to go a certain route usually in order to get there in that quick amount of time. But we will see how these teams like to play the map and where they will like to play the ball from. But me personally, it's always going to be PD, not just because of pure delight.
No, but also because of pure delight. We like to shout out pure delight when we can. And yeah, let's hopefully that we're going to hop on board here again with Tortle off the start. See if he does what he did last time, which was, you know, push top A and try to put shots on everyone and their dog who ran out bottom rockets.
That was great. I loved that. All 4 of them just running towards the rockets. That was awesome.
I mean, that is a Mad Max Fury Road style push right out the front. Let's see if they do it again or if they mix it up. And we are going to see Tortle. He's thinking twice about going up top A. He knows what he saw last time and knows he was lucky to get away with his life. He sees 2 of his teammates go down. He's going to push over to Pink Street and try to get away with this Bulldog. See if he baits the ball here. I really don't want to see him go for this objective, but he might. Is he going to rotate it to A? He is. He's going to go. He needs to go back by his team, and he needs to stay alive. I want to see him drop and juggle.
As Venus comes in and gets a double kill.
That is a big kill from Venus. He gets around the back of those rockets, and we see GGez go 3 dead right off the bat. Maybe a difficult time to try to move the ball there when your team doesn't have any kills. I don't mind the rotation, but he needed to drop and start doing damage immediately. But that said, let's see now how Headshots is going to be able to hold this setup. Now that they have 2 kills, 3 dead go down for GGez. This is looking really good for Headshots off the break. They hunt down the 3rd player in tires. You can see these guys all have heads on their swivels looking for those spawners who are going to be pushing out of C and pushing down one of these 3 lanes on the map. They're not able to pick up the kill driveway. Halo Jump is going to fly out top B stairs and go down. Turtle coming in to try to support. He is able to pick up a kill.
As you can see here, he's holding PD, and he's marking out enemy locations to his teammates. You know, even though you can just call that out, you know, he's pinpointing where they are so that even himself knows to remind himself where the enemy team is, so he knows what part of PD to try to stay towards.
Yeah, he's doing all the right things, and that's one big reason why Headshots is able to get almost a minute of time off that first setup. That said, good job by GGez to, you know, get their kills and collapse in on that PD setup. They're able to start getting some points of their own now. Let's see how their first setup compares to the first setup that we saw from Headshots. Already, Ethereal Sword is taking out the ball carrier, excuse me. And Ethereal Sword has the rockets. I have just heard. Now Squirrel Spice has them.
As he takes out Venus. And then he gets taken out by a sword with using an AR who's at Planners.
See, Jedi Master saying it's going to start rotating the ball Pink Street here. I'm curious if he's going to try to stay here and milk the ball in Cafe, or if they're going to try to push over to C. Gruesome picks up 2 kills. There's a 4v2 advantage on the map.
All 4 dead.
4v1. Ethereal Sword goes down, but Headshots is still looking pretty good here. They're going to still get some time in Cafe. Nice job by the last couple members of GGez to stay alive there at top B. You see, they get all of their teammates to spawn with them, and immediately they're able to get back into this team fight around tires. That said, 2 of them fall from a sick nade. 3 of them fall. Jedi Master Saint is the last alive for GGez. Let's see whether he can get his team some spawns over on this pink side of the map. Squirrel Spice does spawn with him. And Headshots know they are coming. There's 1 kill. Squirrel Spice is caught out by himself. Is able to win a big fight there against Ethereal Sword. And Halo Jump both convert kills. 4v1 advantage for GGez, and they're back racking up time. They have a big hill to climb here at a 60-point deficit, now cutting it to 50. But it's doable, Fearless, and just as you called out, they're favoring this PD side of the map.
And the great thing about Oddball is that there is no time limit.
That's right. That's right. Well, there is a time limit now.
If you're holding the ball, no. Well, if you're holding the ball towards the end, no matter what your deficit is, the timer will stop.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and then you can continue holding the ball, and even if there's like a 10-point difference, but there's 20 seconds left on the clock, it can go down to 3 seconds. Until you drop that ball, that timer will not continue going down, which is a difference maker in some matchups that you will see around the league.
It is a great point. You'd have 1 second left in the game and still get 90 points off of it if you hold that setup well.
Which is the same when I was talking about strongholds in terms of the difference between Halo 5 strongholds and Halo Infinite strongholds. Same exact situation. It doesn't matter what the time limit shows. It's about grabbing that objective.
Yeah, the game is not over till it's over. That's for sure. See, Ethereal Sword is pushing into back sub here. He's got the Sentinel Beam, looking to laser some headshots. He takes out Jedi Master Saint. He turns to 2 with Squirrel Spice, and Total is down before he's able to do too much more. But the damage has been done. I think that's the setup. And headshots. Oh no! Gruesome is popping in. Is he going to play this ball or is he going to try to milk it? He's staying alive at Trash, but he doesn't have team members keeping him alive out front there, and Squirrel Spice is able to put him down.
You know, trying to go back a little bit, you know, with Sword, you know, using that Sentinel Beam. You know, it's things like this that make the league so interesting sometimes, is just seeing random stuff that people pick up off the wall or off the ground and use it to their advantage.
It's not quite enough. Well, it is enough, I suppose, for Ethereal Sword, because his teammate is able to pick up the ball and put those last 5 seconds on the board. That is round 1 going in favor of headshots, and we are sticking with Venus off the start of round 2 to see if headshots can put this game away in 2. Picks up a nice kill on Squirrel Spice. He's going to loop around, grab these rockets. Knows there's a guy at ATM. The rocket does not fully connect. He's got a one-shot Jedi Master over here. And just like Mace Windu to Anakin, he is going to fall out of the ATM window and go back to the respawn screen. Meanwhile, Venus is doing everything that he can here. He's got the rocket bulldog combination, whiffs that second rocket, is able to land a good nade up there on P Street. Can he pick up this kill? Takes him a second to locate it, whiffs a bulldog shot, but he's still able to kill Squirrel Spice there. Good plays over here on the Pink Street, just holding off this push from GGez. Picks up another kill on Turtle, milks every possible second out of his life right there on the vending machine to stay alive. And maybe let's hop over to Squirrel Spice here. We've seen him pop up in the crosshairs of his enemies a couple times. He is trying to be the one to get a pick here on this setup and give his team an opportunity to push back into C and get some oddball time here. I would love to see headshots milking this. Like, you see the oddballs on the ground right now as they're winning fights on driveway. The ball is still on the ground even after they pick up 3 kills. So this is the kind of thing where they're leaving. I mean, that's probably 20, 30 points they left on the board there. I mean, yes, they have a 20 kill lead, but, you know, again, at a higher level, you'll see teams recognize very quickly when they have an opportunity to get 5 or 10 points and really milk every last second as the other team is pushing across the map, trying to get pressure on their setup. Good stalker shots there from Ethereal Sword, but he is not quite able to win his fight against Twirtle on Pink Street. And that might give GGez an opening to get in here on this C setup.
Let's head over to Jedi Master Sen, who has rockets and making a push to that carrier as he takes down Venus, who had the ball. And now he's making his way to drive away and try to make another play while his teammates are trying to rack up some time.
Ruster and Rockets, I mean, this is a different looking round than we saw in round 1. I mean, GGez getting a nice 50 points on the board there. Headshots staring at a deficit really for the first time in this series. But Jedi Master's still got a rocket in his back pocket. Let's see what he can do with it. Looking up here at B-Rail, looking for a guy, possibly B-posters. He does pick up a good kill on Turbo Sniper. And Gruesome doing a great job to listen to his teammate and trade that kill out. Doesn't find the rockets, but he's still able to almost nail that skill jump. He's going to die with the thrust right there on the driveway. But his team is still pushing in, trying to finish this collapse. And sure enough, they are going to be racking up some time. Oh, is my... Nope. Excuse me. It is Headshots who's up in this game. Commentator is absolutely confused by the colors and has no idea what's going on. Forget everything I said. Fearless is over here just
something
like
that happens more than often than you think. You know, it's the
I
poetic
swear that I
casting.
just saw purple with 50 points, but, you know, maybe I'm just tripping, chat.
Well, it's still anyone's game, remember that, you know. There's 2 minutes 56 seconds left on the clock. You know, until it's the last 30 seconds where the clock actually decides to stop and you hold ball, no matter who's winning and who has the ball. You know, that's where time comes into play.
Yeah, it's
Sword comes in with a double kill, that bulldog. You know, and protecting his teammate who has the oddball. And now it looks like they're all trying to hold T completely, so that way they can get these last remaining 27 seconds.
I would love to. I know Halo Jump has just fallen to a rocket from Gruesome as another set of rockets goes into headshots, but I'd love to hop on board with Halo Jump. We haven't seen too much from him this series. just see how he can try to get his team back into this. See Halo Jumper pushing these spikes, knows two members of the opposing team, sorry, at the top of spikes there. Gets in a 1v1 with Venus, is not able to pick up the kill. Venus with good shots to stop that push. Halo Jumper caught out by himself there on that spike side. Looks like he was maybe trying to close in a pinch with those guys on top B, but the timing was just not quite there. And Headshots is going to take game 4, 2-0.
As you can see at the ending there, it was a great push by him, but you can see that Venus knew what was going to happen, knew and expected, and repositioned himself. So that way when that player pushed up to that spike stairwell, then he was right there, ready to put those shots on to put him back to the death cam.
Yeah, and on Headshot side, we got Venus and Gruesome again with just great games coming out. Each of them passing the 20 kill mark in that game, going +9 and +13 respectively. So doing a lot to keep Headshots on top that game.
And once again, we see those assists. You know, the assists that mean that they're putting more shots into others, because you also have to realize that, you know, even though you may not get the assist, you did put damage into that enemy player but didn't pick up the assist. You know, I deal with that problem all the time across multiple games. And, you know, you can just see from these numbers alone that a lot of the times they are shooting things together, which is great to see. And that's something that everyone needs to work on a little bit with each other in order to outsmart their opponent and take them down a lot quicker. Because every second matters. Especially in oddball.
It's a great point. And you know, despite the sort of new round-based format of oddball in Halo Infinite, it is maybe the most punishing game type for not having good positioning, because every phase of the game is just so important. It's important where you put your objective player. It's important where the other 3 members are on your team, and sort of important which lanes they're watching. It's important where, if your team dies, where the remaining members push into the map to give you a, you know, positive influence for you to spawn back up. All of that comes down to positioning. And fortunately for Headshots, not only do they have the positioning, but they've got the slays to back it up. And that's what's turning this into a 4-0 series so far. GGez, one more opportunity to get on the board here in PHCL Week 6. And for those of you who do not remember from the beginning, our Game 5 today is going to be Live Fire Slayer. Fearless, you called out Live Fire at the start of this broadcast as a map that, you know, you thought would be maybe one of the more interesting ones in this game type. You want to just repeat some of those points that you had earlier for anyone who's just joining us?
You know, what I was saying before is that, you know, on Live Fire there's so much going on that you have a lot of open spots that you have to move around to, and there's not really one localized section of the map that you can just hold, because there are so many ways to get from point A to point B. You know, in terms of strongholds, in terms of even, you know, oddball, but we're playing Slayer. So it's more or less, you know, what side of the map do you want to try to hold? Because of the underground tunnel and the back canal street going to the tower, you know, someone can easily sneak up and take over your positioning at the least that you expect it to happen.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I think, you know, yet again, Slayer is just another objective game where the objective is getting kills, and positioning is gonna come back in this game too. I mean, like, the kind of 2 sides of the map that you referred to, Fearless, you know, you've got the C side of the map, or the tower side of the map, which has that height advantage, and you've got the A side of the map, garage and house, which has a lot more cover, but sort of less aggressive sight lines onto the rest of the map. So sometimes you'll see one of those 2 sides be a center of gravity for a team, even in a Slayer match. But as a team starts to get map control, those side spawns at the B tower and the dummies where the power-up spawns become more important. And especially on the dummy side of the map, those spawns are literally out in the open. And if your team starts spawning there and that power up is not coming up, you're looking at needing to get out there really fast or probably subjecting yourself to a team wipe and going down even more kills. So a lot of times you'll see the team that gets control try to force those spawns over in dummies where they can very quickly get damage on those players who are spawning up and, get a good couple of team wipes in their favor onto the scoreboard. That said, we are firing up map 5 here. This is going to be the last map of our series tonight. Thank you everyone for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Fearless, anyone you want to hop on board with off the start of this game?
Off the start, I would say let's go with Turbo Sniper. Turbo Sniper is really showing up this series, and it's I like to see if whether he's gonna go straight for that power weapon, or if he's gonna try to make a play towards ball or set up for the power the power up.
Yeah, and one other difference between Infinite and previous Halo titles is the power up does not spawn in immediately at the start of the game. You see that 30-second timer over there on the right. This team is going to have at least one team fight before they have an opportunity to get that active camouflage. So let's see how they go about it. Turbo Sniper falling there off the start. When he comes off respawn in B, he's going to know from that the other team is still at C and over at dummies getting ready for this active camo. I like this positioning from him going to overlook. I hope he doesn't take too much damage here. Got a really good sight line to help his team. Gonna fly out and challenge that low cuts. Picks it up for the double kill. Gets himself active camouflage for his trouble. And tries to stay alive here on Needles. Venus putting down the cover fire to keep him alive. And Turbo Sniper has picked up his namesake weapon. He's got camo snipe. He's already got a body shot and an assist. Misses the flying quick scope onto Squirrel, who ducks back behind tower to stay alive. But still a good sequence we saw right there from Turbo Sniper. Hop on board with Venus now, who's picked that sniper off the corpse of his teammate. He's going to bring it back here to the A side of the map on Overlook. Nice team shot right there from Turbo Sniper and friends to get that kill on Bags. And now you see, oh my goodness, Turtle with a frag god nade from bottom C just hits Venus in the visor and takes him out of the action. It turns into a quick 2 dead. But we still see GGez kind of chilling back over here on tower. They're not showing too much interest in being aggressive onto that A side of the map and those house spawns. Fearless, I'm curious. You find yourself in this kind of situation. You're down 6 kills. Do you like this kind of more passive approach that they're taking, or would you like to see them do something else to try to equalize here?
Well, you can see here that they are moving as a team. But I feel like, in this case scenario, they're moving up a little too quick. It doesn't seem like when people come out their spawn, they're really looking to help their team. They're not really looking at the death screen to see how many teammates of theirs is down. Should I push this, or should I get new positioning so that when my teammates spawn, we can make a push together?
Yeah, it's a good point. You saw them go 3 dead right there trying to get to that power up together, but they all ran out to get the power up instead of someone kind of staying back and putting shots down like we saw Turbo Sniper do for the first time that camo spawned. 3 dead here for GGez as Headshots is getting good presence on the nest side of the map. See Ethereal Sword wrapping back to tower here, trying to keep his team spawning there. Gets a nice push across top mid. Gets 2 kills with the Mangler over on the pillars, and he is putting the team on his back here with the God Gun. Ethereal wrapping back down through garage door, still got the Mangler out, still doing damage, picks up another kill on Halo Jump at top mid, and he is just on the hunt, full Predator mode, looking for the rest of GGez here. See if he can sniff out Halo Jumpa here in the dummies. Comes around the corner into a frag grenade. Doesn't take too much damage. Still looking for kills bottom mid. I'm getting the sense, despite the scoreline, Fearless, that maybe the comms are not really on top of things for headshots here. They all seem, sometimes you'll see people almost like they have, a sixth sense looking at players before they spawn, looking at players before they come around corners, just based off the communication and the awareness. But just watching Ethereal there, he's getting a lot of kills, but looks like he's also hunting down prey when he doesn't know exactly where they are.
Right, and it also just seems like, in my perspective, is that they're not. It doesn't seem like communication is really happening much anymore. They are getting way too overconfident that they're going to quote unquote win, but as you can see, little by little, GGez is making some plays that are making things go in their favor. And they could close this out and, possibly come back and win.
Hopping back on board with with Squirrel Spice here towards the end. And Squirrel Spice coming off the respawn in B, gonna pick up this repulsor. Looking for some opportunities to make this scoreline a little bit more respectable, but Fearless, that confidence on the headshot side that you're talking about, you got to imagine the opposite is going through GGez's head right now. I mean, it's hard to be down 4-0 in a series. It's hard to feel like you still have something to play for here at the end. But just a reminder, with the format that we have here, every map counts for these teams. So really important for them to dig deep and try to turn this into a win or try to pull this back as best they can. If they are able to pull that off, there will be real benefits for them when we get to that end of the season tournament. Squirrel Sniper with a sneaky little repulsor under bags there, able to get a couple of shots in. That number of headshots on the sandbags. Has Turtle there to put down team shot with him. Together they're able to take out Turbo Sniper. But there are two members of headshots pushing in from the garage door here, and another one from top mid. So man, yeah, this is hard to see. I mean, for GGez, it just looks like they never just have all the lanes covered. There's just always members of headshots kind of leaking through their setup, getting behind them, and makes it tough. Sure enough, headshots able to turn this into a 5-0 and walk away with that Slayer live fire game. Good games and well played to both teams here. But congratulations to headshots for taking this 5-0.
Yeah, and if something to say to GGez, even though you guys lost, there are plays that you could probably notice in the theater that you guys could have done a little bit better, and then try to learn some of the stuff that some of the players on the other team did. Because sometimes you just need to review how someone else plays. For me, I'm a visual learner. So I need to watch it happen in order for me to learn it.
I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, and I see that Ethereal Sword somehow fired 78 shots in that game. Or excuse me, fired 109 and hit 78, and nevertheless walked away with 11 kills and only 6 deaths. I'm not sure I've ever seen a scoreline quite like that. That is, and yeah, well, when you only shoot 100 bullets and you get three of your 4 bursts, that's a 25 BR burst. Well, no, it's more than that, but 25 that hit. So anyway, good games to headshots, good games to GGez too. And props to them for sticking it out through those 5 maps. They had plenty of moments they could have built off of in that series. And like you said, Fearless, hopefully they go back, watch that VOD, and ignore my casting and my annoying voice and find some things to take away from that series. Any kind of passing pieces of advice you have for them, or anything big stick out from that series that you think that they could take away?
Like I was saying before, just going back and reviewing everything and seeing what the other team did that just shut your gameplay down. Because there were so many cases in that series that headshots just had the upper advantage at almost all points of the game. And you want to work on that kind of stuff, and that just takes of time of sitting down as a team, regardless of who's in the wrong. With things that I see a lot happen is that when you do reviews and whatnot, teammates get upset with each other because someone's calling them out on a play or a decision making that they're doing, and they need to just learn that we all make mistakes. Even the pros make mistakes. We see it happen all the time, and we just need to learn from those mistakes and try to do a little better in our next series. You know, it's just it just takes time. You know, some of these teams you might see this season do not so great, and then next season just blow up just because they had that time to sit down and review everything and learn from each other and kind of build off of each other in order to get to that higher tier level.
Yeah, and that attitude pays off too. I mean, that's one of the kind of nice things about this season format that we have. These rosters stick together when they put the time in to kind of take away those learnings and build off them. You can see pretty cool improvement arcs for some of these teams over the course of the season. And again, once these seasonal sort of group placements and playings are complete, we'll have the end of season tournament that puts all of the divisions together in one sort of big double elimination tournament. And at that point, all these teams will get to show us and each other how much they've improved and to test themselves against the teams that are above and below them.
Right. Moving on to other things. It's a good job from Headshots, and hopefully in their next series of next week, I believe they play next weekend as well. Uh, you know, hopefully they can have the same momentum they went into this game. Even though they came up on top, there were still some instances during that series that they were a little bit off of what they played like the game prior. So it's we'll see how they pan out in the next series next week, and same thing with GGez. But we will see.
Yeah. Well, good games again to both these teams. Thanks everyone for joining us. Once again, this was week 6 of the PHCL broadcast highlights on Saturday. I believe we're going to be live again tomorrow. I don't know off the top of my head of which two teams will be playing.
The two teams that are playing tomorrow is Rising Tide versus Tempestuous Gaming. Now, I know that there is some issues on the side of Rising Tide. If they are able to fix that issue that they have currently, we will see a broadcast tomorrow night. It will start around or just before 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Gotcha. And Tanzi coming in the chat saying the backup is Attrition versus Dogs of War, some of our lower division teams with some great players down there. So one way or another, we will be live tomorrow. We'll have another good series for you guys. But thanks for sticking with us tonight. Fearless, pleasure being here with you. Frozen, thank you for doing your magic behind the scenes. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, and we're going to send the love over to another member of the league, Titan. And
yeah,
we're going to be raiding over there. And when we go over there, if you choose to stay in that channel and you have a subscription to PHCL, let's spam those emotes and show them a little bit of love with the follow.
Titan playing Halo right now, Fearless?
Yes.
Okay, I want to see Titan die at least once from the sheer density of emotes appearing in his chat.
Let's do it. I'm going to send it over.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Been a pleasure being here with you.